questions from the audience. I want to give the people online a chance to weigh in here. So let's take one more quick little break here, and then we'll go to some of the questions from the audience. I would, especially in this arena, I wouldn't expect to see any big changes. I think they would be supportive, from everything that I've seen written, at least, that they seem to be supportive of these kinds of activities. But maybe you guys know something I don't know.
So you have to understand that it's just not the White House, it's Congress that also.
Sure, Axiom.
I heard of this company called Interact. Maybe they could tell us.
I was waiting for the intro. Thank you, Andrew. It'd be wrong for me to not mention Axiom. They were awarded the Next Steps Appendix J link up to ISS. Yeah, there's gonna be others around, but yeah, we're making great progress. So thank you for the question. Andrew, thanks for the softball there.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
So what kind of, that was one of the questions I was going to ask, and maybe we could kind of morph these together. So NASA has made it clear that in the future,
that there's a lot of things that you can't do on the space station. So one of our plans is to build other platforms where you can do other sorts of research. And these could be free-flying stations, could be really close to the station, be visited by the visiting vehicles, crewed vehicles and such. But we definitely see that being complementary to the ISS as it ages.
And I'll just say from an NASA perspective here, over a year ago we laid out kind of the 5 parts of our overall LEO commercialization strategy. And one of those critical elements was actually an estimation of early demand for a commercial facility post-ISS. And that demand was characterized not in terms of dollar, as well as we keep thinking about that balance that we're going to continue to need to strike as we play out over the next decade. But again, I think it's really exciting to recognize that there's a commitment to having another platform after the ISS. Let's not overlook what a big kind of policy step that is. And now we got the long process of making that real, both in terms of budgetary sense and real in terms of the development sense.
Great. So we've got another question here. Lynn, you might be able to weigh in.
Have other suggestions?
I'll go ahead. I was just going to say there's lots of different, private sector investment opportunities.
Small payload, very simple payload, but it was done by a school that did a bake sale, and I think that's a rare story. But the prices for throwing, for flying things in space they're coming down, and they're quite reasonable. You go to Space Tango or to us or to Tech Shop, they're reasonable to.
Another company. Launchpad Medical actually went through the mass challenge process, selected through that, and that allowed them to fly to the space station. And then after their flight, showing the
common partners, finding folks that haven't been to space before or might have some interesting opportunity to go to space, both with our additive manufacturing facility, the first commercial manufacturing plant in space. We brought universities, individuals, Fortune 50 companies, international companies to space. A recycler, we've done the same thing. So there's really a lot of different avenues, because space is not about just us. It's not about just astronauts. It's really it's the common heritage of everybody, as it were. And it excites people, and we can get lots of people to drive in that direction.
Yeah, and Andrew, I think for partnership has been really important. Bridge some of these valleys of death on some of these other projects, and then although we have been successful with NASA SBIRs, our bioprinter actually started as a defense help agency SBIR related to the development of artificial vascular grafts. And as we started to develop that and had some success with that, we started to look at what else we need to make that successful, or what can we do with that technology. And that's where we partnered with Inscript on the bioprinter. And we think eventually.
And that's something that just to tag on to that I think is really wonderful that's emerged over the last couple of years, is that there is that pipeline, right? That we're all really familiar with this sort of technological valley of death, but NASA has taken great strides both at headquarters and at Marshall and at JSC and other centers to stand up these programs that though you do have to kind of swing from vine to vine, as it were, like from SBIR to Tipping Point to ISS enabling NRA or what have you, there is that pathway that lets us go.
So Cindy, you want to go first?
Sure. I know we often get the question, what can the government do to speed up or reduce the risk to LEO commercialization? And I just want to put one last kind of plug in is we really need a national commitment to policy. NASA has laid out a strategy, but we continually see Congress continues to underfund it. I don't know where the miss is here, but a strategy with a commitment of resources is necessary. So that, we're talking all about transportation, accessibility, but man, I think Congress and others need to fund this.
Yeah, that's very true. And NSS is
that are astonishing. Nearly everything is possible. So we're at a place where Cindy said it. We just need to keep funding going and keep the advancements happening and really give the American public and the global public the return on investment that the taxpayers paid. So it's exceptional times, exciting times. Keep an eye on the companies highlighted here. And it's great. Thank you, guys.
Elena, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I would like to highlight the necessity to develop a manufacturing in space because, if we're talking about a 3D,
whatever the motivations are, whether they're, to Alex's point, intrinsic or signaling motivate, whatever your motivation is, we're seeing activity that we've never seen before from a lot of corners, not only of the country, of the globe, that we've never seen before. And taking advantage of that is sort of part of our challenge. And how do we manage that?
That we all spend are extremely fortunate to spend at least a portion of our day-to-day on. And I think what it really comes down to is almost like pragmatic space folks, right? We need to do real work, and we need to find